Excellent, and welcome to day two of TAD Summit. I'm very happy to have Dinesh on. He's the founder, CEO for hSenid Mobile, and they've been doing some amazing work on a number of topics. But the one that's dear to me is Ideamart, as they've been a partner of TAD Summit and TAD Hack since the beginning. And I think for me, when I look at the success they've built, I mean, they have raised telco's revenues by 10 to 15% because they made innovation easy. I know I say that all the time, but that is the hardest bit. It's making it easy for people, not just developers, but people who are a small business owner to be able to build stuff just using a web page. Having an easy API, not a complex API. Again, that is very important. And the thing that they got right from the very start is engaging the country. And it takes time. This isn't engagement's done after 6 months. It's years because people, have to become accustomed, have to get to a point whereby, they've had ideas. They can see how the technologies can be used in cool ways to solve their problems. Just one quick example from TAD Hack over the weekend. One of the sponsors, Strollard, they have a technology called VCon. And the first time they were on about 3 years ago, they got one hack. Then they started to get more, and then this year it was just massive. They dominated TAD Hack, but also the way they were being used is in very unusual, innovative ways. So there's one hack which is the shrine at the temple of computing. VCon is underneath it, enables the whole hack, but you wouldn't know. It was just so interesting the way they presented it. But anyway, Dinesh got it right. He's helped a number of countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, in creating countrywide innovation ecosystems. So I'm really excited to hear where he's taking the industry. So Dinesh, over to you.
Right, thank you, Alan. And I want to first of all actually thank TAD Hack and the TAD Summit for really doing a great job. So we just finished, I think it's over 10 years, and
yes.
it's really, I mean, I for me, it just feels like it was yesterday when we started all that. But what we see is that evolution that happened over the years, how things have moved, how people have actually generated companies, businesses out of that. So today, actually, I'm going to talk about again, something that is very dear to us and what we have been doing, how we saw the SDPs getting converted into CPaaS, how CPaaS is actually moving more into the next generation CPaaS. And then from there, how the new AI and some of the omni-channel communications is actually changing some of these things for the future. So that's exactly what I will talk about today in the next 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes,
Excellent. That sounds really good.
All right. So starting on, so we are kind of talk about what our whole thing here is about: evolve or get left behind. So the future is now, embrace or fall behind. What does that mean? So things are changing. So I think we all know that. And then the next generation of CPaaS is here. So what we are talking here is about how we will see that from living in times where standing still is no longer an option, the space of technology and advancement in business innovation is accelerating. We have seen that quite a lot. And I think where we see most is how all these are going to get converged into and going forward. So let me take you some of the areas that we see. Actually, this is a very interesting. So what we call the telcos, one undeniable truth is that it has been kind of the most of the mobile value-added services market. What was there is now projected to kind of grow in about 11 to 12% CAGR, and this is happening is mostly in the innovation of CPaaS, right? It's something that it's going to kind of create that. And the CPaaS, what we are talking about is they demand more richer, more personalized engagement. And it's not just a trend, but it's a necessity now. And what was once dominant service model no longer sufficient in today's landscape. And personalization and instant engagement is actually one of the key things that needs to happen. So I think we will talk about how the industry and what we at hSenid Mobile has done in this area. So if you take the next slide, so the CPaaS evolution, right? So I think according to Trendbit, this was in 2023, this and some of the articles that we saw, we see that the CPaaS industries also will be growing, from 4.5 to kind of in 2021, they talk about 26 billion, which is, I think, includes everything that is there. But where we are seeing, but we are witnessing the rise of a new generation CPaaS, one that is unified, omni-channel, and driven by AR. What does this mean for business today? It means the breaking free from the constraints of a single communication channel and embracing into robust businesses that integrates WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Viber, and more in one platform. I think we saw even during the last TED hack that passed, a couple of days back, that how people are integrating WhatsApp with LLMs that I think mentioned before, is that how they actually are using the WhatsApp interface, but using LLMs to kind of create research and, searches and stuff like that. So I would say this is programmable communication at its best, at its finest, I would say, allowing companies to meet their customer needs where they are and the right moment through the right platform. So that's where I think the CPaaS is moving. And, and I want to talk a little bit of what we have done to evolve this through our journey. So let me kind of take through the way how hSenid Mobile has evolved with this. And I think we remember, I think it's even more than 12 to 15 years ago, the original APIs were exposed. Service, I think we mentioned service delivery platforms, that were the first that came. You had the whole southbound layer APIs being opened up and kind of given as APIs. Then we actually saw with the Ideamart, with that we had APIs which were driven by Wizard, so that actually you didn't have to know about coding. You actually had different patterns that we actually move through that. So that was one of the things that we saw as one of the significant. And then how the CPaaS came into place. So there we saw that we saw how that really took off. And now we are seeing that, we are at the forefront of this transformation of CPaaS from early days, which was just simple communication through SMS, USSD, and voice, to more complex, which we talked about before, is using all omni-channel communication. So that's one thing that we see, that we saw that as one of our key things on the CPaaS platform. So recognizing the demand for seamless communication across various platforms, we introduced Talito, which is an omni-channel solution that brings multiple communication channels like WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, Viber, website, SMS into unified platform. So Talito, now if you look at Talito, we actually call it a customer engagement platform. It allows businesses and customers to engage where there is promotion, for support, and also to different ways of communicating. And this all brought into one. So when somebody comes in with your MS ISDN, you get a thread that is get built in. if the person come next time, you get added to that particular thread. So whether it's a customer service agent or whether it's a support agent, or when somebody leaves that thing and another agent comes in, they see all what has been going on, and this is coming through multiple channels, which we see as a good use case to be used in multiple businesses, whether it's customer support, agent support, or all that. And I think what will happen is with the invent of AI and AI agents, this will actually even be able to communicate to each other.
Mhm.
So now I think that would be the next phase that we see. But coming back, let's come back to what we have done with Talito, and then we introduced Pout, which is very interesting as further kind of exploring the evolving needs of the business, particularly in the e-commerce and the SME sector. We introduced Sprout, what we call an AI sales agent. So Sprout isn't just about increasing sales, it's about creating personalized, automated engagement that help businesses to build stronger relationship with their customers. Mm-hmm. So what it does is, simply you can come and it can be a sales assistant agent, a bot, but it's a more AI driven. It's no longer a standalone that is very static. This is something very dynamic. It kind of brings a lot of insights to what you do. So that's how we actually have evolved our CPaaS platform into Talito, which is more on the engagement and bringing the omnichannel. Then we have Sprout, which is the AI agent that actually comes in, AI sales assistant that comes. And a lot of this is targeted to the SME and the mid-market.
Yeah.
So let's go through the what we feel that, how Sprout and Talito can kind of look at, So the Sprout is more of AI chatbot, but it has quite a bit of intelligence built in. So it's not a static thing. It's a kind of an evolving thing. Then Talito, which was the whole engagement platform that was really building on top of the CPaaS platform itself.
Yeah.
So what we did was we started bridging the gap between omnichannel communication with Talito and then personalized engagement through Sprout. Yeah. So we created a seamless ecosystem that empowers businesses to thrive in today's fast pace, but also to be very much customer driven.
Yeah.
So that's we feel has quite a bit of a intersection between these two. So this is where we can differentiate ourselves not just by bringing it together, but we're seeing quite a bit of results that comes out of this whole thing. So this seamless engagement and retention can kind of hyper personalize interactions across multiple channels with these two platforms, and it kind of builds on top of each other to kind of help the SMEs and the mid market. So let us take through a little bit of case studies, and I think this kind of going down the memory lane. So we saw Ideamart with Dialog Asiata, was a game changer when we introduced it almost 10 years ago, right? In Sri Lanka with APIs. And then we saw that was purely on SMS and USSD. But now with Talito and Sprout, the complete the possibility are even greater. Talito can help app creators communicate with the customers across multiple platforms, whether it's WhatsApp, Messenger, SMS, and then marketing to customer interactions more seamlessly and in a personalized way. Meanwhile, Sprout, which is the AI sales assistant, will drive the personalized engagement and boost customer acquisition and making it easier to attract and retain customers. So this is what we saw, the role of Sprout, and then the complete unified communication that brought together. So what's next? So this is interesting. So the evolution of CPaaS is not a destination. I think we all saw, right? I mean, we see that, and it'll be very difficult to predict what will be in the next 12 to 18 months with how things are moving so fast. But I think, this journey requires business to adapt, innovate, evolve continuously. I think what we have seen with some of our customers, especially in the areas of banking and finance and some of the telcos, is that they are using these convergence platforms together to be able to go out and start engaging with their customers, bringing in more insights to their customers, which will actually help them to kind of grow their businesses, but also to retain their customers together. So what we are saying is that those who embrace this new wave and those who understand the power of AI-driven omni-channel communication will find themselves not just surviving, but thriving in the next 12 to 15 months. I don't think we can predict anything more than that because this is so fast moving. So we feel that CPaaS is evolving. It has still good potential, but telcos needs to really drive that through their enterprise business and also to engage with their customers. If they don't do that, like what I mentioned, Alan, at the early stage of that WhatsApp LLM search, but if you actually integrate into the telco network where they monetize it through cache APIs and some of the telco assets, then you actually build a business model that is sustainable and you can bring forward. Mm-hmm. I think there will be a lot of intersections of this kind of both the over-the-top communication platforms like WhatsApp, Viber, and other things. With telco platforms, you can actually be able to generate, I would say, new business models. I think that's where the telecom operators and others need to see. So today, we actually are standing at a crossroads where companies are faced with two options: evolve or get left behind. And at the heart of this evolution is CPaaS, communication platform as a service. And the question is, will you evolve or will you get left behind? Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dinesh. From my perspective, I think WhatsApp is, for many countries, is a channel you just can't ignore. Simple as that. You are not relevant if you don't include that. And we're seeing, yes, there's RCS, but it's going to take time. And it is truly interactive. People are, highly experienced in using that channel. And WhatsApp has been on a country by country basis, replicating the successes we've seen with Line, with WeChat. Whenever I'm in Central or Latin America, I'm using WhatsApp. I want to arrange a boat trip for the family. Well, I can be looking through the guides, and then I can talk directly to the boat operator to say, hey, do you have space for later this afternoon? And you have that chat, and it's booked. That's it. I turn up. And also, I have all the references, the directories, but people have said about how great their service is. So it's a trusted experience. And that's just as a tourist in that country. And there's many, many other applications. So you can't, as a service provider, ignore the power of WhatsApp. And I think every business is exploring the relevance of AI. And again, they need a provider that they can trust, that can support across traditional channels, voice, SMS, as well as through the emerging channels. So there, I think, with Sprout, it's making it easy for businesses to just automate simple tasks. We're going to hear later today from Vida, from Lyle Pratt, and what they've done is it's using LLMs for some very simple use cases for small businesses. Because as a small business, during the day, you're busy, basically, delivering to customers, but customers are calling you. It could be, do you provide these services? Could you give me a quote for something like this? And the LLM provides a handy tool to capture all that, customer contact over whatever platform, whether it's traditional voice, whether it's over WhatsApp, SMS, wherever channel the customer prefers. And then, there's that interaction, because that's the beautiful thing. That it's not like going to a web page. You can interact, say, when could you, when could you visit to give me a quote on X? And that agent can look at the diary, can look at, and say, well, could do tomorrow at say 10 a.m., but we'll need to confirm. Okay. And later that day, small business owner can look through and say, yep, I can make 10, confirm, or, oh no, I've already got a client booked on that time. So, this negotiation, but it's helping them manage that pipeline of opportunities using the conversation that you can have. And we'll see, with WhatsApp, we'll see them pushing their, LLMs. I think that, to your point, the importance of omni-channel or, multi-channel is important because everybody has their own, preference in terms of communications. So absolutely endorse. I'm seeing, use cases popping up around the world that show that's the strategy. And I just wanted to finish on the insights. There, I think the work that you've done in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh give you over a decade of data to draw upon. So you've seen which apps are popular. You've seen how those apps have performed. And that can provide immense advice and guidance to help businesses in terms of simple things like temporary workers, and especially if they're sort of farm based, and knowing A, where they hang out, and B, how to get the get them signed up so that you can have them working on your farm on that particular day. I know that's more of an example specific to particular countries, but again, it's all that insight, and both in history, but the insight that comes also from the real-time component in knowing where people are and what their role is. So I think you're spot on that it is a new phase. It is a more dynamic phase. It is for a small business a little bit confusing because there's so many offers that seem to overlap, and key in making it attractive comes back to the monetization, just making it
That's right.
easy.
So, Alan, there, I think the telecom operators actually have a big role to play, right? And this is their terrain, right? I mean,
Yes.
you own that, book of business, you own that particular thing. But the thing is, it's not the traditional ways of what you sold. It's the way that you need to start selling this kind of services. So you need to have a different mentality on how to kind of go and do that. So it's very interesting. Just to give you a quick anecdote, just 1 minute anecdote. I'm actually reviewing. We have a team that does AI first development. So AI first development means you don't write a single code. Now it's completely driven through prompt with cursor and V1 and some of that stuff. So when I talking with our CTO and the team, is that now you have to completely change your mindset of how you did development.
Yes. Yep.
Because you're not writing code anymore. You're writing prompts which generates code.
Yes.
So if you have an interface that was generated, you bring that into cursor, you build the logic. But now if you change the interface, you actually change it from the prompt that you did when you're bringing it. So your whole way of thinking that the traditional ways of development is completely, you have to kind of forget, and now you have to think of how you do this particular modular based development, because you can go back and forth and stuff like that. So just imagine, this is just this, we are just scratching the surface in this. So we have not even kind of gone any deep. So we all have to change on how we would actually need to go to market, how we bring our products and services to market.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And I think you've highlighted an important decision that a carrier needs to take. because they could, look at it and go, oh, that's very complex. I need to engage with customers. There's all this variability. I just like my bread and butter telecom services. So they move up the stack, but it's more in just automating and making it more programmable. All their traditional telecom services, it's just making it easier for a variety of service providers and businesses to use. So that would be, maybe some of the more traditional Western European operators, maybe North American, may find that a more comfortable position to be in. Well, I think, the real, significant revenue upside is in building and co-creating, which is one of your bylines for many years now.
That's right. Co-creating the future. That's exactly. That's 100%. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but that is a non-traditional role for many telcos. But I think, if they want to see significant revenue growth, then it is a very important role to play in helping, especially in the small, medium, and mid-market. The large enterprise, they'll have their existing big, mega cloud providers, but all those small and mid-market are within your country. And there'll be data regulations, privacy regulations. So there's a whole host of stuff you can use.
Security.
Exactly. That is a moat that you can build to be the preferred service provider in that market. So cool. And I'm just interested on what you see at the moment on your platforms as some of the popular use cases.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. So we are seeing on both on our Talito and on our Sprout platform, lot of private institutions who are actually running their enrollment is actually using our platform. So institutions like, so if we have certain degree awarding institutions and stuff like that, they are actually running our platform. We have customers from Australia and others who are running a certain amount of like cleaning services, and even in Dubai, we have some people who are running cleaning services. I think what you just said before, they have to kind of, in Dubai, we have seen some use cases where they say, okay, we need to get this house cleaned and things like that. It comes through WhatsApp, through our Talito, and then they have to actually go and look at the code, send that code. For them to track that back and forth was a nightmare because you were getting so many. Now with the Talito platform, you actually have all those things running as threads so that you can actually go and say, okay, what are the quotations I sent? What are the things I need to follow up? So you have multiple use cases. Now, one of the, part of some of our Sprout platform, we also use the RAG on the LLM so that it can really kind of give you it reduces almost to about 99% of the hallucinations and stuff like that that can happen on LLM. So you see, I think these will evolve, right? I mean, that's the key. This all will evolve in time to come.
Exactly.
So
and it's a tag team between, I think, RAG enhancers, but also the prompts you do to, close down some of the hallucinations. So it's, like
that's right.
We never, you set the rule so that the LLM knows, okay, I can't break that rule. So I can't say we have no stock of that if there's this setting. So it stops them basically, making silliness. But that's a great example. Plus, quite often it's a small business owner and, they'll have like a small team and the small team is dedicated to just cleaning, but they'll be in, because they're not just doing quotes, as they're helping out the team doing the cleaning as well. So, they're doing this hybrid thing where they're having to hold many plates spinning at the same time. And that's the power of having this AI agent, that it can deal with a lot of the conversational stuff so that the business owner can spin the plates successfully.
That's right.
Excellent. So thanks so much for that, Dinesh. A great story, and I think really setting out where the market is moving, but also showing for a telco, there's a lot of questions moving forward as well on where they become. Now,
and that's the opportunity for telco. I think they can regain some of the missed opportunities in the past with some of the over the top. You have another opportunity, but you have to be smart enough and you have to be innovative thinking if you want to grab that, again.